Yeah, big breaking story today about the potential globalisation of rugby league. Chammy, run us through it. Looks like we could have an exciting 2027 season launch.
Yeah, Danny. Peter V'landys and Andrew Abdo landed today in London, and they have a series of meetings. And one of those meetings, or a range of those meetings, are about Global Round. It's the brainchild of Peter V'landys, and what he wants to do is basically expand on the Las Vegas venture. Now, they've got a 5-year deal. They're there through until the end of 2028. But the NRL are looking in 2027, expanding beyond America, playing games in London, in Dubai, in Hong Kong, and everyone in the competition. By that stage, there'll be 18 teams in the competition. So you'll have 9 games around the world being played to launch the season. It's a huge initiative. It's probably the biggest undertaking of any Australian sport in the history of Australian sport. But it's going to take a lot of work. I love the idea. I love the initiative from the NRL.
Look, you and I both have been to Vegas a couple of times now, and we see how much of a big task that is and a big project that is finding grounds, getting teams there. So this is next level, though, isn't it? This is taking it to a whole new level.
Yeah, look, it's going to take a lot of work, and the NRL, probably you'd say by now, after 2 years, have probably felt like they've mastered Vegas and the training schedules and where they can where they can train out of to help the teams. So yeah, it is, but I guess why not? Like you get to a point now, unless the game's losing a lot of money, which it isn't because it struck a really good deal with Las Vegas Tourism. So why can't they do the same thing? You'll get many people, thousands of people travelling to Wembley. You could partner up with the Super League. Could be a triple header. You could play the London Broncos here. Could be the London Broncos' first game back in the Super League in 12 months' time. So there are so many possibilities the NRL can explore. I love the idea of a South of France game. We know that Toulouse enter the competition in the Super League next year. Catalan's already in. And France used to be a rugby league playing nation. It's fallen away. So someone like Trent Robinson, who married to a French woman, speaks French, he's coached in the country. Imagine the Roosters going over, playing in the south of France. You could stay the night in the south of France, head over to London the next day here at Wembley. That's the venue that they'll be speaking to the NRL. There's so many possibilities. And then you look at Asia, Singapore, Hong Kong, Dubai. And I like what they're doing with America. You can't just stop at Vegas.
Does it take away from Vegas a bit? I mean, like, when you think about it, they've invested so much, and that's such a big thing at the moment, and it's creating such a big gap between rugby league and every other sport at that time of the year, and it's dominating the whole start of the year, the media, everything like that. Does it then diminish, I think, from Vegas? From my point of view, it probably does a little bit. But it takes away some of the glamour and the glitz and the excitement surrounding that. Is that a danger?
Well, I think naturally after 3 years, that's not there anymore anyway. It's not like it was. I think it is. Yeah, it is, but think about it in a few years' time. Like it's just everyone by that stage, all the teams and their fans would have had the chance to go to Vegas. In this model, like if your team's not playing in Vegas, well, you go somewhere else and you play at Wembley one year, then you're in Dubai the following, or you're in Miami. That's the other possibility. Expanding through America, the East Coast, Nashville, Miami, and the opportunity to play in Hawaii as well. So I think look, it may not come off. Like I said, these are the plans that the NRL are putting into place. But why not shoot for the stars? And if it ends up just being Las Vegas and Wembley, it's still a great result. I think the NRL needs to grow.
The interesting thing is time zones and broadcast. I mean, when we think about rugby league, you have to think about how the people back home will get to see, because not everybody can afford to go to all these places all around the world. So I wonder how the time zones will work, because in Vegas it works really, really well, doesn't it? Well, like we've got a test match, this test match now is in the middle of the night back home. It's 12:30 here, and 12:30 for the viewers back home. It's 2:30 in the afternoon here, so that doesn't really work. So they're going to have to work out time zones and those sort of things. So TV, that's where the money comes from, so they can make money out of it.
Yeah, of course. And I think that, well, the ratings for the Vegas games have been huge.
Yeah.
I'm glad you asked that, because I've worked out a mock-up plan.
I knew you would.
Because
you're a thinker, Chammy.
One of the appeals is to have almost 24 hours of rugby league as a non-stop provided to the fans. And I've got a rough schedule of how it could work. You could start off, and these are all Sydney times, Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. 6 a.m. you play a game in the south of France. At 9 a.m. you're in Miami, which is 6 p.m. local time. Then at 11 a.m. you're in Hawaii. 1 o'clock you're in Vegas. 3 o'clock you're in Vegas. 5 o'clock you play in Hong Kong. Dubai at 7:30, and then you've got London at 10 p.m. and 12 a.m. That's a 12 p.m. start here in London.
Sounds familiar. Is this your idea or Peter V'landys' idea?
No, I've done some work on the back of it. Now, the NRL obviously have to do their research and due diligence, but it's possible. You can have rugby league from 6 a.m. till 2 a.m. in the morning, all 9 games, back to back to back to back. It'd be unbelievable.
Well, Chammy is a bit of an old timer, and like having covered the game for a very long time, I never thought I'd see the day when we're launching the season in Las Vegas, and that is a huge credit to Peter V'landys and his team. Now, I would not pour water on this because, given the can-do attitude that Peter V'landys has, he does a lot of really good things for our game. If this is what he wants, Andrew Abdo will have to make it happen.
He might have to hire about 50 people, but it'll happen.
It's true, because I think they do need to really make this a proper project. They can't just rely on the current staff they have to make this happen. It's a huge project.
No, look, it's going to take a lot of work, and the other part of this is providing players with something different. And you and I have both spoken. We were here the other day talking about the threat of R360. Now, this isn't a deliberate ploy to try and thwart R360, but what it does do...
It's handy, though.
It says to the players, we can be global, and we're going to aim to be global. And you can look forward to the fact that every year you can take your family on a trip overseas, whether it be Miami, Hawaii, London, wherever it may be, and you got something to look forward to. Now, that's an appeal to a lot of people. Yeah. That'll keep players in the game, bring players to the game. I think it's a no-brainer.
Well, Chammy, I spoke to Harry Grant. I took him around in London, and we stopped outside Buckingham Palace, and he said that rugby league has got to have more trips like this kangaroo tour. And he said it should be a world game. And look, in the past, there was Super League back then, and they said that people in China were going to be watching rugby league. Well, that was just hogwash. But this feels more real, and this feels like if there's an actual plan to make it happen, and it's not a complete takeover of a competition, it could work to start a season.
Well, where's your priority? Where are you going, mate? Where are you going to base yourself if this happens?
South of France sounds pretty good.
South of France? I'll take Miami.
Of course you would.
I'll take Miami.
Now, look, let's talk a bit about what's happened with the Kangaroos as well.
Yeah.
We saw amazing scenes today here at Wembley where John Bon Jovi turned up and met the Kangaroos. It was quite surreal, wasn't it?
I think you were more excited than they were.
I'm a bit of a fan.
I haven't seen you move that fast in a very long time.
I don't move fast.
You don't move fast unless you're walking your cat. But I think it's incredible for them to see John Bon Jovi catching the football, shaking hands with the players. They were starstruck. Some of them were singing "Living on a Prayer." So great to see. I don't think he'll be cheering for Australia if he's here tomorrow. I don't even know if he'll be at the game. But
he knew a bit about it though. He said that it's football without the pads, and it's, what do you call them? Tough sons of bitches.
Yeah, tough sons of bitches.
So it was exciting to see that. To see a superstar like John Bon Jovi here. Now, before we go, I have to get a quick tip for you. I know no one really cares about what we think about results of games, but who's going to win?
Look, I think Australia will win. I think it'll be tight, Danny. I don't think it'll be a blowout. I reckon Australia by 6. What do you think?
I'm thinking Australia by about 12. So let's hope between there somewhere we get it right. Michael, thanks for joining us. Big news, and there'll be more on this channel coming up.